Ciao! Welcome back to a new video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have an absolutely amazing theory we're going to talk about. We're also going to be defending one of the greatest and personally my favorite devil so far in the verse. That's a bad guy, by the way. Obviously, my favorite devil is Plumid because Plumid is so fucking cute. But one of the highest ranking devils that deserves respect, but recently he hasn't been getting any. ZAGRED. But before we jump into ZAGRED and obviously the theory for this video, which for the record is going to blow your mind, so you're really going to have to pay attention to this video, we're going to first talk about the artist. The artist for this video is SGSAMI. SGSAMI has been very, very dominant on this channel. If you're a fan of their art, be sure to go smash follow on their Twitter account. Be sure to say, hi, we're here from Sami. It really does help if you guys also support artists. That way it shows that them letting me use their art really does support themselves and, you know, a cycle of support. With that also being said, some sale numbers have now been revealed for Black Clover's next upcoming volume 28 that was released about a week ago. So volume 28 in its second week sold 76,088 copies with a total of 142,030 copies in a span of 10 days. Now volume 27 only lasted 7 days, so we're not going to talk about 27, but 26, 25, and 24 were all out for 10 days when the second week happened, so we have some numbers. So 28 in 10 days sold 142,000, 26 in 10 days only sold 135,000, 24 in 10 days sold 138,000, which means outsold volumes 26 and 24 and only lost about 2,000 to volume 25. This is obviously an increase in sales, but at the end of the day, it's not something revolutionary. Black Clover's volumes sell about 250,000 to 270,000 per volume. This is pretty standard sales. One thing I do want to point out, though, ever since the anime ended, it looks like the backlogs are selling a little bit more. This week's backlogs sold about 20,000 copies, which I believe hasn't happened in a very, very long time. So it's a very good sign. So hopefully by volume 29 and volume 30, the sales will continue to rise, especially with the upcoming Black Clover movie. With that also being said, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, tomorrow is the release of the official chapter of Black Clover, chapter 290. We're obviously going to be live streaming, so be sure to join the live stream as it's going to be fucking epic. Until then, I'll see you. So let's just jump straight into this theory. Alright, jumping straight into it, as promised, we're starting with ZAGRED. Okay, so over the course of the last week, especially with the twins fusing, Lilith and Nahama going absolutely, utterly crazy, and Asta demolishing them in Black Clover chapter 290, a lot of arguments have come up that have now suddenly, for some reason, claimed that ZAGRED is weaker than the devils Lilith and Nahama, or that Lilith and Nahama are stronger than ZAGRED. So I want to give you my own personal opinion and a reason why ZAGRED is actually one of the strongest devils in the verse that we have seen so far. So ZAGRED was obviously the main villain in the elf arc. The first thing important to know is that there are 7 levels to the underworld. The first layer obviously is Lilith and Nahama, the last layer having Lucifero, Xenon's devil presumably, and the now presumptuous devil of time. We still don't know where Megakula is. So there are 7 layers. Obviously 7 is a big thing in Japan. Everything is 7 Dragon Balls, 7 deadly sins, etc, etc. But what's important about ZAGRED actually comes with the Asta versus Dante fight. In the Asta versus Dante fight, when asked about who is this devil that is possessing Asta, Lucifero responded with, I don't know, which instantly goes to show that Lucifero doesn't know every single devil in hell. I mean, why the fuck would he? There are so many levels, 7 layers, so many people's names he would have to remember if he knew every single one and their exact powers. Lucifero goes on to say, if there is a high-ranking devil in this world right now, it would be ZAGRED, who left the underworld but this doesn't seem to be him. Lucifero not only knows ZAGRED by name, but he knows exactly what he has been doing, which means Lucifero actually cares about ZAGRED. It shows that ZAGRED is high enough for Lucifero to remember. Now, we don't know exactly if ZAGRED was a Cliff-Off level devil, but we can presume he most likely wasn't. He is only a high-ranking devil. But let's go back to the chart. We know from the chart that the lower you go, the stronger the devils become. That means a high-ranking devil on the first floor is not comparable to a high-ranking on the final floor. I believe ZAGRED, for Lucifero to actually know him by name and have been keeping track on him for so long, is that ZAGRED was a high-ranking devil on the final floor, which, yes, I fully believe ZAGRED is most likely, especially with his magic and grimoire he possessed, stronger than the next probably 3 to 4 devils we're ever gonna meet. But that's just my own theory. If you also believe ZAGRED is actually strong, be sure to tell me in the comment section down below. I'm actually interested to see what you guys have to say for that. Alright, guys, before we switch over to the actual Fury in this video, I do just want to point out the last video surpassed over 358 likes and 1 dislike. Thank you guys so much for your support. Be sure to smash that like button, as we are doing a massive giveaway at 15,000 subscribers, and your likes definitely support this channel. Arigato. Now let's jump straight into the Fury. Alright, now let's jump into the actual Fury. Devil Fusion and Asta's new devil. Now, what do I mean by this? A couple weeks ago, I released this video, a re-release, and obviously, I've talked about this before in the live streams, I've talked about this in the comment section, I've talked about this on Discord, so if you know me, you know my theory, that the only way this arc ends is that Asta will enter the underworld to fully set things straight. Obviously, Liebe wants revenge, so he definitely wants to go into the underworld to enact his revenge. Asta also, obviously, if Yami and William die, Asta is also going to want revenge, and the fact that both of them possess no mana, and it was shown that only people who possess no mana can pass through the gate freely, definitely shows to me that Asta is going to enter the underworld. Now, obviously, there is a big issue here. Asta is definitely super strong, but is he on the level to literally 1v1000 the underworld currently? No, because, I mean, he only has a 5-minute limiter. As soon as those 5 minutes run out, Asta is very much fucked, and going through every single floor, slaughtering every single devil, is going to be a problem. Or at least it was. In Black Clover chapter 288 or 287, we learned for the first ever time that you can fuse devils together. Noct surpassed his limits, and in his devil union fused Plumid and Wagner together and increased his powers dramatically. Now, obviously, Noct is a literal legend when it comes to devil rituals. Noct was a protege. Not only that, though, there is another problem. In Black Clover chapter 289, Lilith and Nahama fused together. Now, this could be because obviously they definitely look like a half of each other when they were first introduced, but it definitely does bring up the question, can other devils fuse together? Now, obviously, they would not want to. Lilith and Nahama didn't even fuse. We're literally playing around with their food, Noct, until Asta came in. Now, the devils of the highest order on the next floor, the floor after, have now just witnessed Lilith and Nahama be slaughtered by Asta, which might, if they can, push them into fusing with each other. Now, from the levels we know, there is only the last floor that has more devils. So it comes to question, can the devils on the final floor, the devil of time, space, and gravity, fuse together? Ooh! I definitely want to see more devil fusion. I feel like the fact that it was introduced that Noct can fuse 2 devil bindings together, and then Lilith and Nahama fuse the next chapter, it definitely makes me believe that we are going to see more devil fusions in the future, maybe by Noct or maybe by Asta if he does go ahead and enter the underworld. Now, obviously, the same way as the Clover Kingdom, there was most likely a lot of devils that are not happy with the way that the underworld is. For example, Plumid, Wagner, Gimordello, they're all following Noct because they weren't happy with the underworld. So there is most likely a rebellion already happening in the underworld. And if Asta uses this, he could use it to his own potential, and we might be able to see some more epic devil fusions in the future. I'd already predicted in that video that Asta is going to get the help of more devils, but after chapter 288, I am now more than 100% sure that Asta is going to get more devil union fusions, and he's going to just go fucking ham in the underworld. Now, that is if an underworld arc happens, but with everything going on right now, I can clearly, safely predict we are going to be seeing a Black Clover underworld arc in the very near future. Anyway, at the end of the day, this is just a theory. I did want to talk about ZAGRED mainly. I thought about I might as well throw in a devil fusion video else into this. What do you think? Do you think that the devils of time, space, and gravity can fuse together? Do you think more devil fusions are going to happen? Do you think the high-ranking devils are going to be able to fuse with each other? Because now that the highest ranking devil on the first floor is being defeated, the other devils are most likely not going to joke around. Shit is gonna get serious from here on out. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. My name is, as always, peace.